Welcome to Ireland. Welcome to our countdown of the top 10 must-visit places in Ireland. Now, I've had a few lovely guests on the show from Ireland. Saoirse Ronan, Colin Farrell, that handsome devil Pierce Brosnan. And let me tell you, they all rave about it. And for good reason. From stunning landscapes to historic landmarks, Ireland has it all. So, put on your best green jumper, pour yourself a Guinness or a cuppa if it's a bit early for a pint, and settle in as we take you on a virtual tour of the Emerald Isle. We're talking rolling green hills, dramatic coastlines, and more charm than you can shake a shillelagh at. By the end of this, you'll be booking your flight faster than I can say Irish stew. Right then, kicking things off with a bang, or should I say a crag, we're heading to the magnificent cliffs of Moher. Picture this, you're perched atop these towering cliffs, the wind whipping through your hair. Hopefully you've remembered a hairbrush, unlike me on a windy day. And before you stretches the vast Atlantic Ocean. The cliffs of Moher are an absolute must-see, and trust me, the photos don't do them justice. They stretch for 8 glorious kilometers along the west coast, and at their highest point they soar a dizzying 214 meters above the waves. Now, if you're lucky and not terrified of heights, you might just spot some of the local residents. Puffins! These adorable little fellas nest along the cliffs, and they're a right treat to see. Just, maybe avoid looking straight down if you're not keen on heights. And listen closely, you might just hear the haunting cries of seabirds, the crashing of the waves below, and the whispers of legends carried on the wind. They say the cliffs of Moher have a certain magic about them, and after one visit you'll understand why. Next up, we're off to Northern Ireland to a place that's straight out of a fairy tale, the Giant's Causeway. Now, you might be thinking, giants what now? Well, picture this, 40,000, yes, you heard me right, 40,000 interlocking basalt columns, all neatly arranged like some giant had a go at a bit of DIY. Legend has it that these unusual formations were created by the mythical giant Finn McCool. Apparently he was a bit of a hothead and got into a spot of bother with a Scottish giant. Now, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of a giant, would you? Whether you believe the legend or you're more of a science buff. And there's a perfectly good geological explanation for it all, mind you. There's no denying the magic of this place. Take a wander along the causeway, hop from stone to stone, careful now, and just marvel at the sheer wonder of it all. It's like stepping into another world. Right then, time to don your finest frock and polish up your dancing shoes because we're off to Dublin Castle. This grand old dame has seen it all, from Viking raids to royal banquets and everything in between. For over 800 years, Dublin Castle served as the seat of British power in Ireland. Now it's a reminder of Ireland's rich and often turbulent history. Take a wander through the state apartments, marvel at the opulent decor. You'll feel like you've stepped back in time. And if you're lucky enough to be there during a state visit, you might just catch a glimpse of the Irish president hosting some fancy dignitaries. Just try not to trip over the red carpet, all right? But the real fun starts when the sun goes down. Dublin Castle plays host to all sorts of events, from concerts to art exhibitions. It's the kind of place where you can just imagine bumping into Bono in the Lou Queue. Well, a fella can dream, can't he? Chapter 4, Ring of Kerry, a Scenic Symphony in green. Buckle up, lovelies, because we're off on a road trip. And not just any road trip, mind you, but a spin around the Ring of Kerry. This scenic drive takes you along the rugged coastline of County Kerry, and it's a feast for the eyes. Imagine, rolling hills blanketed in emerald green, and yes, the green really is that vibrant. Charming villages straight out of a postcard, and the wild Atlantic crashing against the cliffs. It's enough to make you want to pack your bags and move in. As you wind your way along the ring, be sure to stop off at the charming villages along the way. Have a pint in a traditional pub, and maybe a sing-song if you're feeling brave. And soak up the local crack, and keep your eyes peeled for the sheep. They're practically part of the scenery out here, and they're always good for a laugh. Just maybe avoid getting stuck behind one on a narrow road. Chapter 5. Blarney Castle and the Gift of the Gab. Next, we're off to a castle with a bit of a twist. Blarney Castle, home to the famous Blarney Stone. Now, you've probably heard of kissing the Blarney Stone, but do you know why people do it? Legend has it that if you pucker up and plant a kiss on this magical stone, you'll be blessed with the gift of the Gab. Of course, getting to the stone is half the fun. You have to climb all the way to the top of the castle, which is no mean feat, and then lean backwards, upside down, to give the Blarney Stone a good old smooch. It's a bit of a squeeze, and not for the faint of heart, but hey, what's a little bit of contortionism for the gift of eloquence, eh? Just try not to think about how many people have kissed that stone before you. Chapter 6. Galway City, where the music never stops. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're off to Galway City, the beating heart of the west of Ireland. Galway is a city that knows how to have a good time. It's practically bursting with music, art, and good cheer. As you wander through the cobbled streets, you'll be serenaded by buskers, tempted by the aroma of freshly baked scones, and charmed by the friendly locals. Pop into a traditional pub. There's one on every corner, practically. And you'll find yourself caught up in a session of traditional Irish music. And don't be afraid to join in. The Irish are always up for a good sing-song, even if you don't know the words. Galway is a city that gets under your skin and stays with you long after you've left. It's the kind of place where you can lose yourself in the moment and just enjoy the crack. Right then, let's escape the hustle and bustle and head to a place of pure tranquility. Killarney National Park. This sprawling park is a nature lover's paradise with something for everyone. Fancy a leisurely stroll through ancient woodlands? Killarney's got you covered. Prefer to take to the water? Hop in a boat and explore the serene lakes, surrounded by mountains that rise majestically from the water's edge. Keep your eyes peeled for red deer. They're a common sight in the park, and if you're really lucky, you might even spot a white-tailed eagle soaring overhead. Whether you're an avid hiker, a casual walker, or simply someone who appreciates the beauty of the natural world, Killarney National Park will leave you breathless. Next up, we're off to a place that's a bit different, the Burren. Now, when you think of Ireland, you probably picture rolling green hills, right? Well, the Burren is here to challenge your perceptions. This unique landscape is like something from another planet. A vast expanse of limestone pavement, crisscrossed by cracks and crevices. It's a bit like walking on the moon, only with more sheep. But don't be fooled by its stark beauty. The Burren is teeming with life. Look closely and you'll discover a surprising array of wildflowers, including some rare and delicate species. It's a place of contrasts. Harsh and gentle, barren and blooming. Next stop, Kilkenny Castle. This imposing medieval castle has stood guard over the city of Kilkenny for centuries, and it's a sight to behold. Step back in time as you cross the threshold and enter a world of knights, nobles, and grand banquets. Wander through the opulent rooms, admire the intricate tapestries, and imagine the stories these walls could tell. And be sure to take a stroll through the castle gardens. They're simply stunning, especially in the spring when the flowers are in bloom. Kilkenny Castle is a reminder of Ireland's rich history, and it's a must-see for any visitor to the Emerald Isle. Finally, we're off to the Aran Islands, a group of 3 islands that lie just off the coast of County Galway. These islands are a world away from the hustle and bustle of mainland life. A place where time seems to stand still. Here, you'll find a way of life that has remained largely unchanged for centuries. The islanders still speak Gaelic, the ancient language of Ireland, and they maintain a strong connection to their heritage. Explore ancient forts perched dramatically on cliffs, cycle along quiet country lanes, and breathe in the fresh sea air. The Aran Islands are a true escape, a place to reconnect with nature, with history, and with yourself. Well, there you have it. our whirlwind tour of Ireland's top 10 must-visit spots. From the rugged beauty of the cliffs of Moher to the charm of Galway city, Ireland has something for everyone. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to book a flight and experience it all for myself. And who knows, maybe I'll even bump into one of my lovely Irish guests while I'm there. Thanks for joining us on this tour of Ireland's top destinations. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more travel inspiration.